Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the truth behind every moment that has everyone talking. And right now, Justin Bieber's recent behavior has fans convinced he's communicating something deeper than anyone expected. So, make sure you stay until the very end because this story gets more intense with every detail. If you're part of this community and you love staying updated on everything happening in the world of celebrity culture, hit that subscribe button now because we're just getting started. Justin Bieber showing up on Twitch caught everyone off guard. This is the platform where gamers stream themselves playing video games, where people watch others react to content, and where the vibe is casual and unpolished. For someone who has spent years performing in massive arenas, releasing chart-topping music, and living in the constant glare of cameras and paparazzi, choosing Twitch felt completely unexpected. There was no announcement, no big rollout, just Justin suddenly appearing on the platform with a microphone, some friends, and a simple setup. At first, people thought it might be a one-time experiment. Maybe he was bored. Maybe he wanted to try something new. Maybe it was just for fun. But then Justin mentioned he would be streaming regularly. And that's when the questions started flooding in. Why would someone with Instagram, YouTube, and every other major platform at his disposal choose Twitch? Why now? What is he trying to accomplish? The answer might be in the nature of Twitch itself. The platform is raw and unfiltered. There's no team of editors cleaning up your words. No publicist reviewing what you say before it goes out. No carefully crafted image is being projected. It's just you and whoever decides to tune in. For Justin, who has lived under intense scrutiny since he was a teenager, that kind of simplicity might be exactly what he needs. Fans started noticing something else, too. It wasn't just that Justin was streaming. It was how he was streaming. His energy felt different. The playful, joking, high-energy version of Justin that people were used to seeing wasn't really there. Instead, he seemed calm but heavy. His smiles were quieter. His laughs were less frequent, and every sentence he spoke felt like it carried weight. People on social media began commenting on the shift. One fan said, "He doesn't sound like the same Justin anymore." Another wrote that it feels like he's talking to himself more than to the audience. Someone else described it as watching someone try to find peace in real time. The observations kept coming, and they all pointed to the same thing. Something about Justin had changed, and these Twitch streams were giving people a front-row seat to that transformation. Then came the moment that went viral. During one of his streams, Justin said that just looking at a woman and wanting her is the same as cheating. That single statement exploded across the internet. Some fans praised it, calling it a reflection of his deep faith and his commitment to living according to his beliefs. Others found it troubling, saying it sounded more like guilt than spiritual growth. Justin talks about sin, forgiveness, grace, and God's love frequently during his streams. It's not delivered like a sermon or a lesson. It feels personal, like he's working through these concepts for himself as much as he's sharing them with viewers. Every word seems to serve as both a message to the audience and a reminder to himself. When you listen closely to what he says during these streams, it starts to feel less like entertainment and more like a window into his internal world. It's a place where faith, fame, and exhaustion all seem to intersect. That's when fans began developing theories about what these streams really represent. Many people believe Justin is using Twitch as an escape. It's a quiet corner of the internet where he can exist away from the constant noise, the rumors, the endless comparisons to Selena, and the criticism directed at Hailey. The platform has become a space where he can breathe, without feeling like every move is being judged or dissected. The timing of his streaming activity hasn't gone unnoticed either. Justin started this regular streaming pattern around the same time that headlines about Selena's marriage were circulating again. It also coincided with another wave of online negativity aimed at Hailey. Fans started connecting these events, wondering if Justin's sudden presence on Twitch was his way of coping with everything happening around him. There are smaller details that fans have picked up on as well. The background music he plays during streams often includes soft versions of his older songs and tracks with lyrics about healing, forgiveness, and moving forward. He drops phrases randomly throughout his streams. Words like letting go, redemption, and it's all in God's hands now. Each phrase feels loaded with meaning, even if Justin doesn't elaborate on what he's thinking. On Reddit and Twitter, fans say they're not just watching a live stream, they're watching a story unfold in real time. Some believe he's trying to rediscover who he is outside of the fame and the expectations. Others think he's saying goodbye to a chapter of his life that still haunts him, even if he's not addressing it directly. Whether or not the theories are accurate, there's something undeniably raw about watching someone as famous as Justin sit in front of a camera and simply exist. There's no script, no performance, no polished image. Just a person showing up and letting people see whatever version of themselves they're willing to share in that moment. This isn't the first time Justin has retreated into something new when life became overwhelming. When the pressures of fame became too much early in his career, he threw himself into music. When his relationship with Selena ended and the heartbreak hit hard, he turned to faith and spent time in isolation. Now, with all the noise surrounding his marriage to Hailey and the ongoing drama that refuses to die down, He's streaming on Twitch. The choice of Twitch still surprises people. It's not the platform you'd expect from someone who used to command stages in front of tens of thousands of fans. There are no elaborate sets, no choreographed performances, and no massive production teams. It's just Justin sitting, talking, sometimes joking, sometimes going quiet like someone trying to process their thoughts out loud. For someone who spent years performing at the highest level, these quiet streams feel intensely personal. They're intimate in a way that makes some viewers uncomfortable because it feels like they're intruding on something private. Fans have noticed a pattern of Justin retreating when things get difficult, and they're talking about it openly. Some people say this is Justin finally finding peace. They believe he's connecting to something authentic, away from the chaos of his public life. But others aren't convinced. Critics argue that he's using faith as a shield, hiding behind religion instead of confronting the real issues in his life. Some say he's surrounded by people who don't challenge him, who just agree with everything he says and enable his behavior rather than pushing him to grow. There's a viral thread on Reddit where people debate whether Justin's Twitch streams are a form of self-therapy or a cry for help. One person wrote that it's like watching someone talk to himself just to stay sane. Another commented that he's lost his charisma and doesn't feel like the same person anymore. Maybe that's the point. Maybe Justin isn't trying to be the old version of himself. Maybe he's trying to figure out who he is now, outside of the fame, the wealth, and the constant headlines about his personal life. That's not an easy thing to do when you've been famous since you were a child. Every expression becomes a theory. Every statement becomes a headline. Every moment of silence becomes a message that people try to decode. When he sits in front of the camera now, just being quiet and existing, maybe that is the message. Maybe he's done performing for the world, and he's trying to reclaim something that feels real to him. Whether people love him or criticize him, there's something undeniably raw about these dreams. The laughs that don't quite land, the pauses that stretch a little too long, the smiles that don't reach his eyes. It all adds up to someone who's saying a lot without actually speaking much. Justin has lived half his life under a microscope. Every decision he makes gets analyzed. Every relationship gets dissected. Every choice gets debated by millions of people who don't know him personally, but feel entitled to have an opinion about his life. That kind of pressure is exhausting, and it shows. The streams on Twitch give him a space where he can just be without all the expectations. He's not trying to sell an album, promote a tour, or maintain a carefully curated image. He's just showing up and letting people see whatever version of himself exists in that moment. That level of vulnerability is rare, especially for someone at his level of fame. His discussions about faith are frequent and deeply personal. He talks about struggling with temptation, about trying to live according to his values, and about seeking forgiveness and grace. These are topics he addresses casually. They feel like central themes in his life right now. Things he's genuinely wrestling with as he tries to navigate his faith and his reality. The statement about looking at a woman being the same as cheating sparked so much conversation because it revealed how seriously Justin takes his beliefs. Some people see it as admirable, a sign of someone who's committed to living with integrity. Others see it as extreme, a mindset that could lead to unnecessary guilt and self-punishment. Both perspectives have merit, and the divide shows how complex Justin's situation really is. His fans are split. Some want to protect him and give him space to heal and figure things out. They see these streams as a positive step toward finding peace. Others are worried. They see someone who seems lost, someone who's changed in ways that concern them. They wonder if he's okay, if he's getting the support he needs, and if the people around him are helping or just going along with whatever he says. The internet never stops analyzing him. Every facial expression, every word choice, and every song he plays in the background gets scrutinized. People look for hidden meanings, for clues about his mental state, and for signs of what's really going on behind the scenes. That kind of attention is relentless, and it never gives him a break. So when Justin shows up on Twitch and just exists without the usual fanfare, it feels significant. It's a departure from everything people expect from a celebrity of his stature. It's quiet, it's simple, and it's honest in a way that most public figures never allow themselves to be. These dreams might not be grand declarations or carefully planned messages. They might just be Justin trying to reconnect with himself, trying to find a space where he can breathe without feeling like the world is watching his every move. And in a strange way, that's more powerful than any album release or award show appearance could ever be. If you've made it this far, you're exactly the kind of viewer this channel was built for. So, don't forget to subscribe and stick with this community, because we're bringing you every update, every detail, and every story that keeps you coming back.